So let's get in the Matrix.
Let's do it. Go into
Your
the Matrix.
latest. Was it true? I read that Keanu flew everybody to the premiere in San Francisco.
He didn't fly me to San Francisco.
He didn't fly you?
No,
Come
hell
on,
no,
man.
hell no. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is. I mean, dude, he really is that dude. Like everything you read online is true. I mean,
Generous,
he's the best,
polite.
I got a great story with Reeves. So I call him Reeves because we're
Cool.
we're friends.
Yeah.
So he's a super hard worker. Like he works really, really hard. Like from training to working on his lines to like, I mean, he is a super hard worker. I'm not. You know what I mean? Like every role I take is a role I could do in my sleep. I don't work hard. And so we're shooting the scene in the Simulate, the cafe. And I'm geeked out. It's my first day on set. I'm looking around. It's this huge budget film. I mean, it's amazing. And he walks up to me and he goes, "Hey man, you want to run the scene?" And I go, "Nah, man, I'm good. This is my audition scene." Not even thinking, because in my mind, I'm like, why would Keanu Reeves need to like rehearse? He's Keanu Reeves, like and he gave me this look like, what? Because like he wanted to like run the scene, but I just in front of everybody, I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. This is my audition scene. I'm straight. Don't worry about it. And I look at the PA, my wrangler, and I'm like, that was so nice of him to offer to run the scene with me. And this PA looks at me like, you're an idiot. Like, you're an idiot.
You didn't run the scene with him?
No.
Oh my God.
No. I mean, he like, dude, and it was so funny because like, here's Keanu Reeves, biggest movie star in the world, like doing the walk of shame, like back to his seat because like this kid didn't want to run lines with him.
Did you bring it up later?
No.
Oh, that's right. He didn't fly you.
Yeah, and then I lied to him on his birthday with some fake news. It was his birthday. We're on set, and I'm scrolling through Reddit, and I see this thing, and I should have looked at it, but it was like, Bill and Ted makes, $100 million. And I'm like, damn, dude. I'm like, hey, because it just came out, Bill and Ted. I'm like, congrats on Bill and Ted, bro. Like, that's huge. You made $100 million. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. He's like, no, wait. So his assistant's trying to find this information. Like, they're trying to figure out, like, what I'm talking about. And as they're doing it, I realize, like, oh, shit, there's a parody article. And, like, he's still sitting for me to you, and I'm like, how am I going to tell him? Like, the whole team's trying to figure out where this $100 million article's coming from. And I'm like, shit, I know. I just told him fake news on his birthday. Like, I know it. And so I didn't say anything. I just waited. And then the next day, he was like, hey, so where did you find that article about 100 million? I'm like, listen, brother, I lied to you on your birthday. Like, I just wanted you to feel good.
What did he say?
He laughed. I mean,
okay.
It took about 3 weeks for him to understand who I am.
Sarcasm?
Yeah, like at first, because I'm ridiculous, especially in the movie, because my character is this super over-the-top, eccentric dude. So when I auditioned for it, I had to sort of make it up myself because they give you no script, no breakdown, nothing. They're like, here are the words, figure it out.
He told me this.
Yeah.
Explain this to me.
So I was like, all right, like, I figured out it was The Matrix. Like, I knew, because I was a fan.
I want to explain.
Yeah.
So people, because I know the story. So your agent calls.
Right.
And was like, yo, we got this movie. Can't tell you what it is.
Well, they didn't know what it was either. They were
Your
like,
agent didn't know either?
They were like, we know this is a big movie. They were like, Lana Wachowski's the director, but we don't know what it is. And I was like, do you think it's The Matrix? They're like, maybe. But there was no like rumblings of a new Matrix or anything like that. So when I looked at the sides, the script, I was like, this feels like The Matrix to me. Like, this feels like The Matrix.
How do you get the sides and don't know?
They were dummy sides. They were like fake sides that were written.
Really?
But they actually weren't. They ended up being my scene in the movie. But like his name's Thomas Anderson. They changed the name.
Yeah.
To like Ramus Manderson. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I figured it out. And so I was like, if I'm a character who knows he's in the Matrix and knows that this isn't like, the real world, I would have no inhibitions. I'd be completely ridiculous. Like nothing matters. I'd be completely over the top. I'd be annoying. I'd be huge. So that's what I did for my audition. And I was wearing a white T-shirt and I was writing messages to the director, like on the shirts.
What'd you say?
Cast me was in one of them. And whether it was my next audition, I was like, I need this, shit like that.
I thought you were going to say Gary Owen's balls on my head.
Yeah, you saw my scene with Gary Owen. You should hire me. So yeah, it was a trip, getting there. But because, like I said, my character was so ridiculous and so over the top, you got to keep that energy all day. You know, if you're on set, not to say I'm method or anything, but if your character's supposed to be over the top, you're kind of like that. And I'm naturally kind of like that anyway.
No, you?
Yeah, a little bit. No. So it took Keanu like about a week to 2 weeks to figure me out. Because at first he would just sort of be like, what the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
And then he got it. And then once he got it, we became boys, and he totally was down. And
But he didn't
got
fly
the
it?
joke. No, he didn't fly. He wasn't that good of a
The
boy,
fuck
I
was
guess.
that?
Probably because I lied to him on his birthday.
Keanu.
Karma. Yeah, dude.
the
Keanu, I
fuck,
know
bro?
you're watching this right now.
I mean, it's not cool, but if you want to come on the podcast, I'll still have you.
Yeah, you should defend yourself on here, bro.
You should.
Get him on here.
Boom.
Get him on here.